Hi everyone, this is Cooking with Kurt. Today, my husband Donald and I are going to show you how to make Ube Crinkle Cookies. These are thick and fudgy, almost like brownies, with a soft center inside a crunchy cookie crust, bursting with ube flavor.
This recipe was requested by JHO-Cami27. Thanks so much for your request, and we hope you like this video. Now this recipe makes 16 to 18 cookies, but can be doubled or tripled as needed.
To start, take 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter and 1 egg, and let them sit at room temperature for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Leaving the butter to soften at room temperature for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, depending on the room temperature, is important in this recipe. But don't leave it out for too long on a really hot day, otherwise the butter will get too melty. Take a medium-sized mixing bowl and a sieve. Add in 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. Sift this together, then whisk them to mix.
Then in the bowl of your stand mixer, add in the 4 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter and a 1/3 cup of white granulated sugar. With a paddle attachment, mix these on medium speed until they are combined and fluffy, about 1 minute. Scrape down the bowl as needed. Then add in the room temperature egg, 1/4 cup of ube halaya, also at room temperature, 1 1/2 teaspoon of ube extract, and 2 drops of purple food coloring.
The ube halaya we're using is from a jar, so it already comes sweetened, and we're using a gel paste food coloring, which we recommend for a more vibrant purple color.
So keep in mind, you might have to add additional sugar if you're using a non-sweetened ube substitute, and you might have to add more coloring if you're using liquid food coloring for that same intensity. Mix these ingredients on low-medium speed until just combined. Scrape down the bowl as needed. Then turn down the speed to low and carefully add in the dry ingredients. You might have to stop the mixer and scrape down the bowl and paddle attachment as needed. Continue mixing until just combined. Detach the bowl from the stand mixer, scrape down the bowl and paddle attachment again as needed, and fold in any unmixed dry ingredients from the sides until the mixture is uniform. Then cover the bowl with plastic wrap. We're going to let this dough rest in the fridge overnight to firm up. You can leave this dough in the fridge for up to 3 days.
Leaving the dough to firm up in the fridge overnight is necessary to make thick crinkle cookies, as this will prevent the cookies from overspreading when they bake. When your dough has been chilled overnight and you're ready to bake the cookies, place your oven rack in the middle position and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then take a large sheet pan, we're using a 13 by 18 inch sheet pan, and line it with parchment paper. Do not grease the parchment paper. Measure out 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar into 1 small bowl, and 1/2 cup of powdered sugar into another small bowl. Using a round tablespoon measure for scooping, scoop the chilled dough so you have a heaping tablespoon, about 1 1/2 tablespoons worth of dough. Then, with your cupped palms, form them into spheres. The spheres should be approximately 1 inch in diameter. Then roll the formed dough sphere first in the bowl of granulated sugar, just a light layer of granulated sugar. This will help absorb any extra moisture and prevent the subsequent coat of powdered sugar from melting. Then roll it in the bowl of powdered sugar so they are completely and generously covered with powdered sugar. Then place the ball on the prepared baking sheet. Repeat this with the remaining dough, scooping a heaping tablespoon of dough, forming it into a sphere, rolling in a light layer of granulated sugar, then generously with powdered sugar, and finally placing the balls about 2 inches apart on the baking sheet. This should make about 16 to 18 cookies, depending on the size of your dough spheres. We're going to bake these on the middle rack in our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. Or until the sides have set, but the centers of the cookies are still soft. Let the cookies cool on the sheet pan for 5 minutes, then transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. These Ube Crinkle Cookies will keep for 1 week stored in an airtight container at room temperature. And there it is, rich fudgy Ube Crinkle Cookies rolled in powdered sugar for a crackled texture. Ang sarap!
Ang sarap. Yum.
It's the perfect bite-sized ube treat, and it's not too sweet.
So good. And I love the soft baked center inside the crunchy crust.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please let us know in the comment section below if you're planning to make these Ube Crinkle Cookies. Send us pictures of your creations on Facebook and Instagram. The links are below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cooking with Kurt.
And don't forget to click on the bell so you get notified when we post new cooking videos. Maraming salamat!